I've often thought about the great multitude in Revelation from all nations that are there worshipping the Lamb. But I haven't experienced that before. So ICC has given me an experience of worshipping in the same place with Japanese and Ethiopians and Swiss and Danes and Americans and South Americans, and so that in the sense of the nations of the world and all the peoples of the world, I have now experienced that.
So all continents in a way are represented in ICC.
So much diversity. I mean, it's people who are working in really top posts, and we have people, that if we judge, have nothing. Different stories, and we're lucky just to have that meeting place.
You can still be friends. You might know the same language, or you might not know the same language. So you might have to say, I don't really know your English, know your language, and then they know Danish too. I mean English too. If they know that too, they might speak English if I don't know their language.
But ICC is a melting pot with people from very different backgrounds. I mean, culturally, in their traditions, in their beliefs. I mean, not beliefs. I mean, in their ministry traditions. But I think that is the environment which really helps people believers to focus on what I believe the main points.
No one is excluded. God's love includes everyone. And everyone is equal before God.
Ecumenical is not sort of a rejection of previous denominational ideas as much as it is a kind of getting back to the heart of the gospel. I think what ICC does so well, and why ICC is so good at this, and I think is that it captures what is truly ecumenical, and that is unity in spirit, right? Unity of the spirit.
Because this international church has taught me to be free in any kind of church and Christian, because then you go back to Jesus, and then when you know that we are one in Jesus, and they say, but Jesus never said that you are Catholic, Protestant, Orthodox. He never said. He just believe in me and be one and love each other.
And then allow for diversity within our church that's unified through our faith. And that is hard. I'll be the first to admit. I mean, that is very tricky, and it requires efforts from its members, because members have to be accepting, they have to be forgiving, they have to be willing to share and say, well, here's why I do this. Why do you do that?
Like when we used to come to this church, I used to feel like, these people, they don't take their shoes off, It was like a blasphemy going to a church where people don't take their shoes off. And then, of course, you get used to it. Even when you go to your own church, you forget.
Yes, he wants us to make new friends, even when you don't even know them. You should love them too. I get to meet new people that I don't know, and meet them so I know them. Remember the lady who made cake?
Yes.
What was her name?
Miss Susan?
Yeah, that's who she was. Yeah.
And just the fact that we had those dinners for 6 in the last year, which means you meet the same group of people every maybe 4 times for 4 dinners and so on. So which creates a whole area of intimacy, and trust.
And you will be amazed how we could pour out our hearts about our faith, about our life's experiences, about our joys, about our difficulties. And this is what a good fellowship and a community of believers should be.
And telling about our culture and the Orthodox Church, and I feel so happy and blessed because even though we don't, we are not from the same country, from the same church, but when we sit together and to open the same book, the Bible, and discuss, then we are one.
And I think that's what an international congregation is all about, you know. Certainly have many stories to tell, but basically it's really that. It's an openness to receive, and it's openness to give, without criticism, without, you know, just in an environment of Christianity. What does that mean? Well, it really means where you are supposed not, shall not be judgmental. You know, I think that's the most important, at least for me, not to be judgmental. But I always, wish to love. See, that's it. So that's that. I wish to love in the sense of agape love. You see. So that is an international congregation. It gives you that. It's a learning ground. Voilà, learning ground.
Now you just can't dismiss anybody because, like you said, he's from this church and that church, but you actually know their traditions, what makes them different from my